You really don't need to be going through this right
That's
now.
bullshit, man. This is bullshit.
Hey, okay. Sorry you're going through this.
This is Marisol Best holding her husband, Robert, whispering comfort as he collapses into grief. What he cannot see is that the person holding him is also holding the truth that will destroy what remains of his family. Hours earlier, his parents were alive, and by morning, they are dead. But the fatal detail isn't on the floor. It's his wife, Marisol, at his side, keeping a secret that can destroy him.
What do you think Robbie's gonna think of that?
I really don't. That's what scares me. I don't want to listen.
Virgil and Shirley Best were found shot to death inside their Riverview home on November 11, 2015, executed in the middle of what was supposed to be a family prayer session. There were no signs of forced entry, the scene looked staged, and nothing of value was taken. Detectives immediately turned their attention to the person with the most complicated history in that house. Their son, Robert Best. Robert already had a long criminal record and was facing charges in a case involving a minor, and this made him the prime suspect. He was brought into the interrogation room to explain what he had seen and what he knew. But little did the detectives know that the real key to the case was not Robert, but someone very close to him.
Kind of got here this morning.
I have a court case in Polk County, and my parents had asked if we could stop over on our way this morning, and they wanted to pray with us, and I agreed. So I told them I'd be over there between 6:30, because we would need to leave their house by 7. And I got over there this morning, and I saw that they were up, or I thought that they were up because all the lights were on, and I walked in to the back patio area. That's where everybody comes in, and went to the back door and knocked. When I knocked, I noticed the door was partially, cracked open. And I looked, and I could see my mom laying on the floor. I pushed the door open, and I went to check her to see. And she was dead, and there was blood everywhere. And I turned, and I saw my father, and I checked him, and I just left. I walked back out and told my wife not to come in, and hand me the phone. And we waited till the police officer to get there. I called my sister and told her to call my brother and get over there. And the rest of you guys got there, and that was it.
Okay.
Robert's account hits detectives like a shockwave. 2 elderly parents were found dead in their living room. No forced entry, no signs of struggle, and nothing about their quiet routine suggests danger. By all measures, Virgil and Shirley Best were well loved in their community and had no enemies. And yet someone had walked into their home and executed them. Detectives know that someone close to the Bests is hiding something, and the next round of questioning will reveal exactly where those cracks begin to widen, because the truth behind this murder isn't in the crime scene, it's in the shifting stories and the strained relationships behind the closed doors.
Can you think of anybody who would want to do this to your parents?
Nobody. I can't think of anybody that would even have a bad thing to say about my parents.
Okay.
I cannot imagine anybody. Everybody loves them.
Okay. How was your relationship with them?
It's good. I mean, I was a black sheep of the family. I got in trouble early in life and stuff like that, but I've been, trying to make it up and do right. I got kids now. I have responsibilities and everything, and, they've been very supportive. And
how's everything between you and wife?
It's been strained.
Okay. What's going on there?
She doesn't like to clean, and, she just doesn't like to bathe our kids, and herself. It's just been a constant struggle, and it's been a strain with us. And in this case added to it, She's the one that talked me into, what she talked me into is what got me basically in trouble in that case in Bartow.
Okay.
So that kind of added a strain to it. But I mean, we love each other. She's my best friend, and just try to make it work.
How'd you guys meet?
How is your wife's relationship with your parents?
They love her to death. Whenever I told them that I was going to get a divorce and everything, they told me, no, you got to make that work.
Robert admits he was the black sheep, the troubled son who had spent years trying to rebuild trust. He also reveals cracks at home, a strained marriage, ongoing arguments, and a wife who, according to him, his parents adored. His behavior showed classic signs of someone still in shock, so the police allowed him to meet his wife, Marisol. The detectives don't realize it yet, but what's coming is a controlled display of manipulation that will leave the entire room blindsided.
The state attorney called my probation officer, tried to get me in
I
trouble.
know.
What do you want me to do? You want me to call jail?
You need to get a hold of that attorney and tell him what the heck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. First thing I'll do. You really don't need to be going through this right
That's
now.
bullshit, man. This is bullshit.
It'll be okay. Okay.
I want to be with my family. I want to be with my kids. This is such bullshit, man. I swear to God. I cannot believe they did that.
I know. You don't need this today at all. You were supposed to have this cleared out. And I know he called because I was sitting right there. I'll get this fixed up, okay? We'll get you with the family and then go from there. I love you. Okay. Look at me. Everything's
Now I get to go through all this shit.
okay. It's also not like you've had enough sleep or anything, I love you.
Love you too. Hey.
Yeah.
Well, don't leave until they tell us. They want us to stay in here, so,
Okay. You need me to tell the family anything?
Yeah, let them know what's going to happen.
I love you.
Love you too.
Sorry you're going through this. Alright. Let me go out there. I love you.
Love you. Listen to me. Take care of my babies. My son's birthday. They just pile it on top of me.
Alrighty, let me go so I can have them get started. Okay.
As detectives continue piecing together their timeline, they realize Marisol wasn't just a bystander offering comfort. Earlier that morning, she'd barely been questioned while the focus stayed pinned on Robert. But behind the scenes, something was shifting. Hours after that first interaction, Marisol herself asked to speak to detectives again, not to update them, but because she had more to say. And what she added wasn't a small correction. It was a brand new detail that put her inside Virgil and Shirley Best's home the night before the bodies were found. As the detectives bring in Marisol for interrogation, her story begins to change, and with it, the entire direction of the investigation shifts straight toward her.
We're talking at the house, Talk to me about it.
Which house?
Just now at your house.
Okay, you pulled me aside to talk to me.
Yeah.
Ask me more questions.
I asked you if there was more that you needed to tell me, and you told me that you had gone to the house last night and you had some prayer time.
Yes.
Okay. Talk to me about that.
I had called Shirley earlier on my way back just to see if I could stop by, have a little prayer session. I did. I went home first just to check on Robert, make sure everything was okay. Called my mother, let her know I was home. I went over to Shirley's house. I wasn't going to go in at first. I was tired, not wanting to deal with anything. But I did go in because they were expecting me. We talked for a good 20-30 minutes. And I blanked out, honestly.
What happened?
So something must have happened or triggered you to black out.
They were not happy with him, and they haven't been since his mess up with the federal case years ago. They've never forgiven him for it. And the one time that he needed them to be with him, they weren't. None of his family was supportive. And the one person we thought was going to be supportive because he's been through the same thing, just backstabbed him.
Is that
Who's
Todd?
that?
Todd.
His brother?
Yeah. He's vindictive. So, I don't know, I just hearing all that negativity and knowing that all he needed right now was family to be with him and support him. Because we're going to trial the next day and he had nobody except me.
What did they say exactly? Do you remember?
They were just disappointed in him. They said that he has no excuse. You know, he's been dealing with this long enough. He should know better. And it's just frustrating because this whole case is crap. It is. And to have family just deny you loyalty is just heartbreaking, especially a family like that is always so caring and loving.
Marisol now admits that she went to Virgil and Shirley's home alone that night of the murder. She claims that what was meant to be a simple prayer visit for her husband turned tense as the parents voiced their disappointment in their son. And while Marisol frames it as a moment of emotional overload, detectives already know the truth she's avoiding. This wasn't just the last conversation she had with Virgil and Shirley, it was the last conversation they ever had with anyone. Her calm retelling doesn't match the brutality found at the crime scene, and her claim of blacking out sounds less like confusion and more like the early steps of a confession she hasn't fully committed to yet. Because in the next moments, Marisol moves from vague explanations to the first cracks in her story that will expose how a quiet prayer session turned into a murder scene she can no longer hide.
What happened after that?
I just know I was driving home. Called Rob to let him know that I was on my way home. He wanted me to pick him up so we could go to Walmart. I drove down. He met me down the road. And we decided not to go. I was tired. I didn't want to deal with anything. He didn't know what was going on. So he just knew that I was tired. I had gone out to see his mom. That's it. Didn't know anything else.
Did you tell him ever at any point what happened?
I didn't want to do that to him.
Okay.
It was hard enough that he had agreed to go see my parents in the morning, to see his parents in the morning for that prayer and coffee.
Okay. What happened inside the house? Did you guys start yelling and screaming at each other?
No. That's the thing. They were frustrated and pissed off, and I don't know, something snapped. I'm not like that at all.
Do you know what was said that just made you snap?
It's just all so fake.
As far as how,
As far as being religious and, well, it's God's will, whatever happens, and, he doesn't deserve to be going to jail in the first place. And the reason we were in the mess was because we were trying to be better Christians and going to church, taking our kids.
go back to when you get there to meet with Shirley and have prayer time and stuff. About what time was it that you got there? Do you remember?
I know. I know I left the house probably about 9:20. It was probably about 9:30 that I got there, since it's
9:30 at night. Was she? I mean, were they normally up at that time? Or?
They stay up and watch TV. They watch the news and stuff just to relax.
So were they expecting you and stuff?
Yeah. Like I said, I had called and talked to her to see if I could come over. I rethunk it when I was driving up there. I was like, man, it's so late. I don't want to bother, But feeling so alone, I was hoping the family could help.
Was she cooking or anything at the time, or sitting on the couch?
Yeah, they were just relaxing.
How long did you think you talked for?
Quite a bit, because we talked about everything from Robbie's court to the kids to politics, because that was Virgil's favorite topic. So we were there chatting for a while.
Like, how long do you think a while is? 30 minutes, an hour or more?
Probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I'm not sure. I'm horrible with time.
Marisol's version of the night grows more detailed, but also more unstable. She claims she drove home exhausted, that Robert met her down the road, and that he had no idea what she had just walked away from. She presents herself as the perfect, loyal spouse, fully invested in her husband's cause, all while framing his family as the one who victimized him. However, little did the detectives know that the truth isn't in what she remembers, it's in what she keeps avoiding.
How long were they negative, and did they go on with their negativity?
Pretty much the entire time. I went over to pray with them to get some positivity going, and instead they just kept shooting him down.
And where was he at this time?
He was at home. And I can vouch for that, and so can Joe. He can vouch for it, because I know they were probably playing Diablo or talking on the phone or something. I know that he was home.
Okay.
Take us back to the moment where you black out. I mean, do you remember anything prior to the blackout point?
No, I just know I was upset. I was frustrated. I had to pee, because I had to have one of those big sodas from Circle K.
The Polar Pop.
Did you use the bathroom in there?
I did. And I'm telling you, I've never, ever snapped. Ever. I'm not that type.
Did you have a gun on you in there?
It was in the truck.
Did you go back out to the truck?
I guess.
Where was the gun at when you went back out to the truck?
It was in the center console, because that's where he keeps it, since he has a permit.
Okay.
So.
Was this after all the negativity?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you go back inside the house? Did they know that you were going to come back in?
I did. I was going to go get something from the car since I got my period, so.
Okay.
So basically you told me you had to go out to the car or something? When you came back in, what happened then?
I went to the bathroom, and that's about it. They kept talking to me as I was walking to the bathroom. It was more negativity.
Where did you put the gun at? Or was it in your pants? Was it in your hand? Was it under your shirt?
Like I said, I just was so angry.
Okay. Well, and I understand that. I understand how.
Especially when you have an issue where you feel that a family that's that close and religious isn't being loyal to their son in his predicament.
You know, with Todd, everybody was there. Everybody was there for his trial. Even my husband was there. 3 days long. And he was there. He drove every day an hour and a half to be there for him. And to know that he would have nobody waiting for him or sitting in and vouching for him, at least giving him moral support. It's all because they still hate him for getting in trouble all those years ago.
As detectives lean into a softer approach, offering understanding instead of confrontation, Marisol begins to open up. Detectives deliberately shift from aggressive to empathetic, letting her talk freely so she'll drop small, incriminating details without realizing it. What she doesn't realize is that she's revealing details only the killer could know. And from this moment forward, the questions will be too direct for her to escape.
Who was shot first?
I really don't.
Okay.
If I could tell you, I would.
Where were you at when you shot? Were you sitting down or standing up or something else?
I just remember coming out of the bathroom. And as I was walking, I said, okay, let's do the prayer. That's about it. I was so frustrated.
Which way did you walk through the living room part, like where the front door is?
Yeah, well, yeah.
And then
So
they were in
bathroom.
the family room area where the big brown sectional couch was.
Were they both sitting on the sectional couch? Did either one of them get up?
I think Papa got up to do the prayer.
Did he see the gun?
When you brought the gun back inside to go to the bathroom, where did you hide it?
My shirt.
Under your shirt.
I've never done that. I mean, like I said, this itself was so not me either. I had been a cutter before, but never to that extent. I never wanted to do that to my family and friends.
I understand. Well, Marisol, I want your complete story to be told.
Did you talk to Robert about this?
No, he didn't know.
He doesn't have any clue.
No. I didn't want to tell him. I mean, how do you tell somebody you love and care about something like that?
How did it come about this morning when you guys go there and find them? How did that happen?
He walked up and the door was open.
Yeah, but were you guys had you already planned to go there before he was supposed to go to court?
Yeah. And we had talked about it prior to, me and Ani had talked about it prior to going over there in the evening. She wanted to pray with Robbie, since that was the only thing that she could offer.
Did you stay in the car or did you go up to the door with him this morning?
He beat me out of the car, per usual. So I was lagging behind a little bit.
Were you lagging because you knew what he was going to find?
No, I was just lagging behind. I was extremely exhausted, and I was just lagging behind.
What were you expecting to find when you went there with him?
I don't know. Honestly, I didn't even look. I didn't want to. I don't know. In my head, I could have sworn I did one, but I mean, if it was both of them, then of course more than once. But I don't know.
Who did you point the gun at when you fired the one? Who did you point the gun at when you fired the one?
I can't was Papa. He was the one that was always so much more disappointed.
Was he facing you, or was he turned from you?
I think he was facing me.
Okay.
Marisol's timeline is starting to take shape. The late night visit, the argument, and the growing pressure she felt to defend Robert at any cost. Detectives now have a clear sense of how the evening unfolded. The criticism from Virgil and Shirley, the moment Marisol stepped out to the truck, and the decision she made when she walked back into that house with a gun hidden under her shirt. But through all of this, one thing stays consistent. She keeps separating Robert from the scene, repeating over and over that he wasn't there and didn't know anything about the murder.
Sitting here listening to this, I understand. I can understand the stress and the pressure you've gone through, and the feeling of being, with Robbie kind of being left out in the wind by his family, and seeing, what happened with his brother and such as that. I don't have a lot of background knowledge of that, but understand a little bit of it. Okay. But the thing is, by listening to you discuss, blacking out and, at least getting the gun from the truck. Okay, I want to believe you, but there's got to be a little bit more in the back of your head that you can remember to clear out Robbie. Because I'm not so sure that he wasn't there.
I'm telling you, Robbie was home. I left him at home. I'm the one that left again. He was at home the entire time. You can track his phone calls. He was talking to his attorney most of the time because they were trying to get this all settled up for the next day. So I know he was home. He hadn't left. His bike was still there. The other truck was still cool. It's not like he was there. Trust me, he didn't want to deal with his parents. He was upset at them as much as I was, just because they refused to be a supportive system for him.
Okay.
He wasn't there. I promise you that.
I'll believe that. Okay. Understand that we've looked at a lot of your tolls. You know what your tolls are, your call logs. Okay. There's an awful lot of phone calls that you make with Robert that are really long, all right, in the same time frame. And understand that if you told Robert, you told Robert. That doesn't make Robert in trouble for anything. Okay.
No, I didn't tell him. We always talk on the phone a lot, especially when I'm driving along. But honestly, I didn't tell him anything.
Okay.
You didn't say anything to him? Did he know you were meeting his parents?
Yeah, because he heard me talk to his mom. He says, yeah, go ahead. It's good that you want to at least get them involved. I hope he doesn't hate me for this.
Marisol has finally walked detectives through the moment everything spiraled, but she is determined to keep Robert outside the frame, no matter how close the timeline brings them together. As she speaks, detectives begin assembling the sequence she's trying so hard to soften. She arrived at the house around 9:30 p.m., and the tension between Robert's parents and Marisol built quickly as the criticism toward Robert never stopped. Frustrated and feeling cornered, she walked out to the truck. She told them she needed something for her period, but what she actually retrieved was the handgun Robert kept in the center console. She took it into the bathroom and hid it under her shirt. For a moment, she even thought turning it on herself, but when she stepped back into the living room, everything escalated. Shirley and Virgil stood for prayer with their heads bowed, offering the one thing they believed would help. But what the parents didn't know was that their silence during that prayer wasn't calming her. It was pushing Marisol toward a decision she had already made in her mind, either them or me.
What was going through your head when you came out of that bathroom?
I just wanted all this to end.
And how
It was either going to be me or them. And I don't know what made me snap and just...
And when you say it was either going to be me or them, are you referring to shooting yourself or
Yes.
shooting them?
Myself. I didn't want to deal with this again. We've been through it before. The state attorney's I just didn't want to be the reason that he goes to jail just because I told him to follow his instincts.
Let me ask you this. As you walk out to the truck to go to your purse and then eventually you get the firearm, had the talk with Virgil and Shirley become negative at that point before you walked
It
out of
was
the house?
negative from the beginning.
Pretty much as soon as you got there?
As soon as I got there, they said, "Hi, how are you?" Asked about the kids. Made sure I dropped them off. And I just started.
Do you remember what they said?
They were just disappointed, always. How Robbie was always a disappointment, and how he couldn't ever do right, and that he's always going to end up leading the same road, and that's why he's in trouble again with this. And it's like, I said, you guys were always so happy because I married him and he's doing better. It's not our fault that we tried to be good Christians and good friends to these people.
Did you have any feeling after you shot them? Was there anything you can remember as far as some sense of feeling or knowing where you were or anything?
I was in the truck freaked out. I don't even remember doing anything else. I just know I was in the truck freaked out, shaking.
At any point during this incident with Virgil and Shirley, do you recall getting close enough to actually put the gun against one of them?
I just remember they were doing the prayer. I remember them getting up off the couch and wanting to hold my hand, and I didn't want to hold their hand, but they insisted.
Where was the gun at this point?
It was in the back of my shirt.
Did they have their heads bowed and their eyes closed praying?
I want to say yes.
Did they see it coming as far as the gun?
I don't think so. I got so upset. I don't get upset. At $2, I'm not allowed to be upset.
Marisol's explanation continues to shift, but one thing stays the same. She keeps circling back to her state of mind. The criticism and the years of strain, all building until she believed there was no way out. But now, investigators need more than emotions. They need details, the choices she made, the steps she took, and the reality of what happened after the gun was fired. And as they press deeper, Marisol is asked to walk them through the moment that followed, not in words, but by reenacting it herself. What she does next will reveal far more than she intends.
Is there anything that you want to convey?
Sorry.
What did you think was going to be the end result of this? I mean, anything go through your mind as far as what did you think was going to happen?
I was in shock, honestly. Like everybody else, I was in shock. But for a different reason. You know? So I wasn't thinking clearly. At all.
Do you think at the point where you get the firearm, the gun out of the console of the truck and go back in the house, I mean, was that your intention?
No. Like I said, I was mainly for me. I didn't want to be the reason my husband goes to jail.
Why do you think you'd be the reason he goes to jail?
Because on those phone calls that they have recorded of him after poking and prodding and everything, and him saying no, it was my voice telling him, remember what she said. Remember she said to go ahead with what she says, just because she knows her parents better.
Mm-hmm.
And if I hadn't said that, he would have kept going, he would have been fine. They wouldn't have had anything because there is nothing to have. He only agreed because of what she had said. And if it wasn't for my words telling him to remember that, he would be fine. They wouldn't have anything, just her word against his. But instead they had this phone call where they pushed him far enough and I reminded him and he said okay.
Can you stand up for me real quick? So you think you guys were standing up in the center of the room, they want to hold hands and pray? Mm-hmm. So if I'm Ani, and you're obviously you, can you demonstrate how she would be standing to
I think
you?
she was close to me, like she wanted to.
Like almost facing you like this, or turn?
Sideways, like she wanted to be like right next to me.
So if I'm her, she would be like this.
Yeah. Maybe a little more this way. I just know she was kind of wanting to be close.
And then where was Papa?
And Papa's right where you were. He's
Right
not very much into being close.
Can you kind of demonstrate how you would have responded with a gun so we understand?
Here's a pen.
I know why you're doing this, and it's just
Okay.
having a hard time right now.
I understand. Go ahead. Don't sit on your glasses. Why do you think we're doing this? I'm moving your glasses so you don't sit on them. Why do you think we're doing
You
this?
need the visual. I've learned enough in my years of reading and watching. You just need the visual just to put it all together.
And you're the one that can put it together for us. If you want to go ahead and have a seat, go ahead and have a seat. And you're the one that can put it all together for us.
As the detectives dig deeper, Marisol admits to something she hasn't said before. She didn't just leave. She tried to rearrange the scene, opening drawers, throwing items, and leaving the door cracked open, all in an attempt to steer suspicion away from herself. Every detail pushes investigators closer to the truth of what happened inside that home. Not just the violence, but the calculated steps taken afterwards.
Let me ask you this. Did you clean up at all? Did you try to clean up anything?
I don't think so. I know I was scared.
Okay.
After you pulled the trigger and shot them, did you stick around there for any period of time, or did you immediately leave, or something else?
I think I went around just trying to open drawers, just to kind of, I don't know, make it seem like something went wrong.
What did you open?
I know I opened a couple of drawers. I don't know.
Where?
I know there was one in the living room. I may have gone up to the bedroom because I know Honey had a jewelry box.
Was Robbie there at all?
No, I know he wasn't there. Because his parents would have not said any of those negative things. I'm not like this.
I know you're not. I know this is not normal for you.
I've always been the quiet one. I'm the one that listens to everybody. I'm the one trying to help. I don't do things like this. I don't black out. I'm so mad at myself.
When you went out the door, did you leave it open? Did you close it? What do you remember doing with the door?
I just remember leaving it slightly open. I didn't want to close it all the way.
Why?
Something just told me to leave it slightly open because that way it'd make it easier.
Make it easier for.
for whoever came by. I didn't want them to have to open it.
Let me ask you this: did you leave it slightly open for that reason, or you said that you opened up some drawers so it
Yeah,
It
that
looked
too,
differently.
but at the same time, it was just, I didn't want to leave it closed. And since I don't know how to break a window, I figured that was
So
the easiest.
by leaving some of the drawers open, was that maybe to make it look like somebody had come in and did a burglary or stole something? Was that your intention?
I think so. I didn't know what was going on in my head, and I didn't want to be pinpointed,
Mm-hmm.
especially around family. That's not the way I want this to go down. I love them to death, all of them. I think I was just trying to give myself some time
Some time for.
to try to remember everything. I wanted to talk to Robert too, let him know. I didn't want him thinking I was lying to him just out of spite.
If you could tell the family what happened, what would you say? Or Robert?
Robert's completely different. Because I'd be terrified of losing him and my children. I just tell him that I was meaning to do it for me, and I don't know what took over me.
Finally, on August 27, 2017, Marisol Best was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder and sentenced to 2 life terms without the possibility of parole. Investigators confirmed that Robert Best had no role in the killings, and he was never charged. While incarcerated, Marisol began writing books about the murders, fueling speculation that she was seeking attention or hoping to profit from her own crime.